Murry had a subtle leadership style. He would sit back, he would make suggestions, he would imply certain ways of doing things, but he also allowed you to make your own mistakes.
He used his nose. I learned to use my nose too, because he knew who was genuine and who was not. He knew how to relate to people on the level that they wanted to relate to him.
Murry validated us. Murry let us know that what we were doing was important, and he helped us to do it better.
He understood each and every one of them, what they were strong in, and brought it out of them.
You always knew what Murry thought of the work that you were doing. A few months after Murry and Jay hired me to be the teen worker, in the middle of the summer, my mom and dad came up for their first visit to Hartford. And Murry met them in the lobby, put his arms around them, pulled them close, and whispered to them, "Your son is a winner." It made me feel great. They were so proud.
He really reached out. He treated everyone with respect.
The consummate professional.
Totally about equality across the board.
Terrific at programming. Built a great staff.
If they took a vote, they would say that he was the top man in the field.
When you sat with Murry, if you paid attention, he was mentoring you, he was teaching you. He was a social worker's social worker.
His leadership style was a very low-key one, and one that it took me many years to begin to understand and emulate.
Murry understood that a key part of the Mandel JCC's mission is to build bridges into the general community. I think this all started with the Anne Randall Arts Committee back in the 1950s, when we played a very important role in the cultural life of Greater Hartford.
That was a major commitment. The free evenings in theater that were innovated under his leadership, I don't think it would have happened without Murry.
It was clear that a larger JCC was needed to follow the Jewish community into West Hartford. And it was his vision, along with architects Norman Fletcher and Walter Gropius, to design a building that truly responded to the diverse needs of the Jewish community.
More than he helped design the building, he was intimately involved with the configuration of the building, the size of the spaces, how the spaces worked together. Did Murry love one part of the building more than the other? It was the theater.
Nursery school was a gem. It was so popular that when your kid was born, you needed to sign that kid up for the 2-year-old program, or that kid wasn't going to get in.
Summer camps are where memories happen and connections to communities are created. And Murry understood that having a successful camp was essential to the JCC's ability to carry out its mission.
I think he, early on, before many of our colleagues professionally, understood the importance of the connection of Israel to the Jewish Community Center movement. I think we were one of the first communities to have a shaliach and do major Israel programs throughout the community. And I think it was his insight into that A, had a profound impact on me professionally and also on the JCC.
I can't think of one person that I could say was not a friend of Murray's if they had any connection at all.
Just as a friend and as a human being, he was the most honest and sincere person I think I've ever known.
Because he was both a professional and important and an executive, but also a wonderful human being, warm. He likes jokes, he liked to kibitz.
I always knew my dad was charismatic. I knew that before I knew what charisma was.
He schmoozed up the mailman, he schmoozed up the bank teller, he knew everybody.
He was actually the same person at home as he was at the JCC. He was very funny. He was eccentric.
If you were driving with Murray, and there were big trucks passing you. He'd say, the Machamovis. That's what he would call him, the angel of death.
We used to call him a Jewish mother. He would put a Jewish mother's guilt on you.
He was a humanist. He was a mensch. He knew how to work with people.
He had a unique way of combining seriousness and sense of humor.
Murry was a good joke teller. Yeah, he had a great Yiddish accent.
And he was a great storyteller, absolute great storyteller.
My favorite story about Murry was when he was being honored with the Florence G. Heller Award as the top professional of the year. He began his speech talking about the Heisman Trophy. And I was sitting in the audience absolutely bereft because I thought, my God, Murry has lost it. And he went on and on about the Heisman Award, and he finally finished. He said, and most people know what the Florence G. Heller Award was. He said, but for those who don't, the Florence G. Heller Award is the Heisman Award for the Jewish Community Center movement. And everybody cracked up, and he pulled it off brilliantly.
I mean, he still is a giant. I mean, when you think of the center, to me, it's still Murry.
Murry indeed loved the JCC because he lived the JCC.
I mean, this is a phenomenal institution. I am so proud of where it is today. But it couldn't be where it is today without the foundation that he laid, a foundation of philosophy, of team building, of staff building, because the lessons of Murry Shapiro have passed from the door of a door from generation to generation.
He used to lead us all in singing, Hey Lily, Lily. There was obviously not a self-conscious bone in the man's body when he did that.
We all love Murry, this is true. Hey lolly, lolly, lo. We love Murry through and through. Hey lolly, lolly, lo. Hey lolly, lolly, lolly. Hey lolly, lolly, lo.